because both countries have the same problem. The United States market is big, but tariffs will make their products more expensive. If they take a joint stand against this, Washington might be forced to back down more easily. After all, would the United States have to deal with the German European Union bloc and Canada at the same time? A trade war would also hit American exporters. Of course, the fact that Germany, instead of the European Union Commission, voiced the idea of direct agreements with Canada caused a little surprise in Brussels. Trade policy is already a common area, but Berlin said our interests are at stake. The European Union decision-making is sometimes slow, so we could have separate negotiations or coordination with Canada. After all, we are already partners under CETA. No problem, we are also in contact with Canada. Germany's initiative could be an additional contribution, the Commission comments. In the end, the European Union's unity is not in jeopardy, but there are also voices saying Germany has again prioritized its own interests. In its trade strategies, the Trump administration usually adopts the approach of negotiating with each ally separately, finding their weak points and imposing them. In other words, instead of seeing Europe as a whole, it wants to negotiate by separating Germany from France, Italy from Spain. It also brings Canada to the table within the framework of NAFTA or USMCA. However, the unexpected element is that Germany and Canada realize that they face the same injustice and tend to say, let us act together. This complicates Trump's piecemeal tactic. If Washington's trade frictions with Europe, Canada, and China continue, it is unclear to what extent domestic companies and consumers will be able to bear the burden. So can the White House back down, saying it is hard to fight on so many fronts? That is the question. There is no doubt that the most critical component of the German economy is the automotive industry, with brands such as Mercedes, BMW, and Volkswagen exporting hundreds of thousands of vehicles to the United States market every year. If Trump implements the 25%—
Hey, quick heads up. If you're managing multiple accounts or working in affiliate marketing, you know the struggle. But we found a tool that can save you a ton of headaches. And trust me, it's a game changer. It's called GoLogin, the best browser for managing multiple accounts. Problem 1. Account bans. Out of nowhere, your account gets banned. Sound familiar? Whether it's social media or an affiliate platform, that means frozen funds, wasted time, and starting over from scratch. But with GoLogin, your accounts stay protected, saving you time, money, and stress. Problem 2. Managing multiple accounts. Switching between accounts all day? Nightmare.gologin makes it effortless. You can handle everything from one place, without the hassle. Problem 3. Avoiding detection. Ever been flagged or restricted for suspicious activity? GoLogin keeps you under the radar, so you can work without worrying about unwanted attention. And the best part? It's super easy to use. Sparkle's exclusive for our listeners. Get 40% off with the link in the description below. Rocket.
car tax, the prices of German cars will increase by several $1,000s. This would mean a drop in sales and huge losses for the automotive industry in Germany. The sector is the backbone of the country's employment, export revenues, and R&D infrastructure. Canada, on the other hand, is integrated into the United States market with its automobile sub-industry, parts, and raw material supply. There is a huge risk there too. Both sides are taking action, saying if we take this issue lightly, we will pay a heavy price. The European Union Commission wants to ensure a unified position on tariffs and international trade agreements. Germany, on the other hand, wants to talk to Canada more concretely and quickly so that we send a clear message to the United States. This is causing some confusion in the European Union, but there is no blocking. Canada and the European Union already have a comprehensive trade agreement such as CETA. Berlin is using the cooperation that comes with this agreement to come up with the idea of synchronized retaliation against the United States. For example, simultaneous tax hikes. This plan is based on the argument that if the United States were to face simultaneous retaliation from Canada and the European Union, it would face great domestic political pressure. The reason it is called audacious is that Germany has gone beyond its usual diplomatic politeness and used very clear language. If the United States takes serious steps, we will not hold back. In particular, the German Economy Ministry and the Association of German Industries are of the opinion that we have to protect our economy. Otherwise, tens of thousands of jobs are at stake. It is likely that President Trump will say, Germany should not engage in such a show of force. We are allies, and perhaps he will lash out. They do not spend enough in North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now they are going to put barriers to our trade. He might even open additional investigations against Germany and Canada through the Trade Ministry and impose tariffs on more products under the pretext of national security. This could further complicate diplomacy. Conclusion. Maybe each side will say, let us stop and think and find an interim agreement. Or a trade war could actually break out. In a trade war, everyone loses, economists reiterate. Even though the United States has the advantage of a huge domestic market, there are companies that are afraid of losing their exports. Canada and Germany also do not want to lose the United States market. Therefore, the most plausible path is a middle ground scenario. That is, the United States reduces or postpones the tariff on cars, and Europe and Canada suspend retaliation. This compromise would be temporary, perhaps until after the United States elections in 2025. But at least a major crisis would be avoided. Another possibility is a prolonged diplomatic negotiation. Germany and Canada could buy time by saying, let us make the threats, but let us not rush to implement them. Maybe there are voices saying, if Trump is not re-elected, we will sit at the table with the next president. Eyes are on United States domestic politics. In other words, it is unclear how trade policy will take shape in the United States election atmosphere. This is not just a customs issue, but also reveals the new dynamics of transatlantic relations. The picture is complicated by the fact that Germany, in particular, has been skeptical of Trump policies from the beginning, while Canada, while remaining loyal to the United States as a friendly country, is disappointed with the tariffs. The era of diplomatic soft power is being replaced by protectionist and hard bargaining methods. Moreover, in the shadow of the Russia-Ukraine war, the transatlantic alignment on energy and defense is being shaken. Germany is shifting to the line of, let us base our national security on North Atlantic Treaty Organization, but we will not keep silent on trade issues. Canada is saying, we are allies, but we will not give in to unfair taxes. In sum, Germany and Canada's quest for joint action against United States tariffs points to a new balance of power on the world trade map. The United States is still the largest market, but export-oriented economies like Germany and Canada are planning a united counterattack against fierce protectionism. While this may come as a surprise to the European Union, in fact, the European Union is preparing to retaliate against the United States with similar concerns. Trump's tactic of divide the European Union and force Canada to negotiate alone may not go as he wants, because of the solidarity between Germany and Canada. It is not known which scenario will come true. Maybe Washington will find a middle ground at the last minute. Maybe a full-blown trade war will erupt. Everyone's common hope is that this conflict does not explode, but is resolved through compromise. Otherwise, economic turmoil and political tensions could rise. Some argue that the 2025 United States elections could also postpone the resolution of this issue. In short, transatlantic ties, once considered the most stable part of international trade, are being tested in ways that were never anticipated. What do you think? Is such a clear restraint by Germany and Canada realistic, or is it diplomatic intimidation? Faced with so much resistance, will the United States try to strike a deal, or will it say, I will do it my way? Which side will lose in this potential trade war, and who will win? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments. Thank you very much for watching us. If you subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like our video, you will show your support. It seems that even between friends in the world of trade, big surprises can happen. We hope that this tension between Germany, the European Union, Canada, and the United States will end with a sensible compromise. Otherwise, the trade war wave may affect both European and North American economies. Stay tuned for new developments. Goodbye.